The president has decided on appeals court Judge Sonia Sotomayor, described by critics as a controversial pick.
Picking an anti-American racist like Sotomayor is classic Obama.
Because a brown woman.
She's an angry woman. She's a bigot. She's a racist.
She is reportedly domineering in oral arguments.
She was acting like sort of the school marm.
She is also an affirmative action pick.
She's the one who said out loud, I would probably make better decisions than a white guy.
She is a Marxist.
I wouldn't be surprised if this broad lived in a commune with Bill Ayers at some point.
The judge is Puerto Rican. She is a woman. She grew up in the projects of the Bronx, but continued on to Princeton, where she graduated second in her class in law school. She's also, though, a racist and a bigot. At least that is what some high-profile Republicans are saying.
There was a piece in the New Republic a couple of weeks ago that cited a lot of unnamed sources, and it was brutal to Judge Sotomayor.
Is she responsible with her own money? Is she relying on anybody else to support her lifestyle?
Let's hope that the key conferences aren't when she's menstruating or something, or just before she's going to menstruate. That would really be bad.
She would mark them up like she was your English school teacher, and with your typos and misspellings and other words that you wanted to have changed, and send it back to her colleagues.
I think I'm going to send Sotomayor and her club a bunch of vacuum cleaners to help them clean up after their meetings.
She really is a believer in the racial spoils system.
If you belong to an organization called La Raza, in this case, which is, from my point of view, it's a Latino KKK without the hoods or the nooses.
Here you have a racist. You might want to soften that, and you might want to say a reverse racist.
It's not nearly as textured and rich as it could be if I had led the life of a Latino woman. Sorry. It's my Sonia Sotomayor joke.
They're just like, hey, Hispanic chick lady, you're empathetic? She says, yep. They say, you're in.
She's an affirmative action appointment, for heaven's sakes. There were no males in the final four. How did he come down to 4 women?
They said that they were the best and that met the views that he had, the particular criteria.
In other words, what were the criteria? One of them was it's got to be a woman, and the other it got down to be, hey, it's an Hispanic.
Not only is she, in her speeches, a believer in a kind of identity politics, but as a judge, she is willing to accept identity jurisprudence.
Obama is the greatest living example of a reverse racist, and now he's appointed one. Getting this, AP? Sonia Sotomayor to the U.S. Supreme Court.